What is up, guys? WOOO here, back again with another Division 2 build video. Welcome back, guys. Everybody loves a boom build, and this one is one of the best in the game. Now, if you're going to roll with explosive builds, what you need to do, you need to make sure you're rolling with demolitionists for that extra little bit of bang. And then you need some chunlight on the build as well, and then you can kind of tweak and twist to what you feel is best for you in your build. Now, this build doesn't necessarily use the maximum output of explosive damage, but it is freaking insane how this works, and it is so much fun in any content. And you can see as I go for the build, I'm not even using glass cannon, and I'm dealing sometimes 8.5 million damage on this, and it is really strong. You guys know me, I love skill builds. That's where my heart is at, and this build is one of the best out there, trust me. And then you have this build, which you should have in your loadouts. I've been speedrunning this through seasons and heroics. Guys, I've used this legendary missions and you'll be MVP simply because of the insane damage you're dealing with both skills. Such a fun build that deals so much damage. I recommend this to anyone that is looking for a build that can help them solo, group play, even the hardest content in the game. Test this build out. And of course, guys, if you enjoy my content, I would love it if you would smash the like button. It would help me immensely and give this little video some bit of traction in the YouTube algorithm. And guys, of course, if you enjoy me and my content, you know what to do. Smash the WOOO bomb on the WOOO button, yes, the sub button, and then ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Guys, let's move this.
And eliminated the stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.
What is up, guys? Yeah, we're back, and we're back with this build, which is so much fun in PvE. Make sure you have this in your loadouts. Let's go through it step by step. Guys, you can see I'm rolling with Demolitionist Specialization. I'm rolling with that simply because the extra 10-15%, wherever it is, explosive damage you can garner from the Demolitionist, 10%. It is 10%. But guys, yeah, 10% will go a long way. Then you have, of course, yes, of course, this is a skill build. You have to factor in, it has to be 6 skill tiers. Now with this, guys, you can see I am 0 offensive, 0 defensive. I have 3 little blue attributes, which will go through them as you go through the build, and of course 6 skill tiers, 9 little yellow Legos. Let's go through this step by step. We'll start with the mask. Now the mask, guys, is Empress International. Now there are very many ways I find how to kind of put a skill build together and really harness the power of a skill build. And I feel Empress International is one of the best ways to go. The free piece with the skill health, the skill damage, and the skill efficiency goes such a long way to dealing more damage. It enhances your minor attributes by 10%, which gives you more damage. Guys, trust me, I would go down the free piece skill efficiency, skill damage, skill health route every day. I think that is the best way to go. And free piece in Empress International is brilliant on any skill build. I've opted for 10% skill damage, armor regen, and skill haste. Some people will say, why don't you go status effects? Why don't you go skill haste? I've opted for armor regen for, you guessed it, survivability. That makes me survive longer. That gives me that constant trickle of armor that keeps me in the game, and especially for legendary missions. This is much needed, definitely needed for that bit of survivability. So guys, yes, armor regen is so useful on any skill build. Now the holster, guys, yes, we'll get the biggie out of the way straight away in the video, is the Waveform holster, and this is an excellent exotic piece, and this is available through the seasons. If you've gone for the seasons and you've earned this, great. This will drop in the loot pool. If you haven't got this, guys, yes, farm holsters. That is your best option. Or again, make sure you wait until seasons comes around again to you to get the Waveform. Such an excellent piece of armor to have on your build. This holster is fantastic. Skill damage, skill haste. What it does, alternating current. Generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks, that's 30%. After 10 stacks at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The process then repeats ad infinitum. Wonderful piece of gear, and this will just keep transferring between my 2 sets of skills, which ultimately means lots of damage either or. Yes, guys, waveform is excellent. Now, the knee pads, guys, they are Wyvern wear, and I've opted for Wyvern wear very simply. 10% skill damage. Add it on where possible. Armor regen and skill damage. Now let's take a look at the gloves. The gloves are the second piece of Empress International. Skill damage and again, armor regen. Backpack is China Light Industries Corporation, and with this is skill damage, skill haste, and a 12% God Roll skill haste mod. You've got to get that one-piece China Light on there because it's highly important to have that extra 15% explosive damage. And with that being said, there is the option to have two-piece Gruppo on your build, but you have to forego something, and that's something that you need to think about if you're going to put this build together with these pieces. For me, this is the easiest way to farm, because you know with Gruppo you need to make sure that you have a really decent piece of skill damage on there, and then you need to be able to reroll the red bar, which is the weapon damage to skill tier. So that is something to bear in mind. For me, this is the easiest way to farm. And again, it works in abundance. It is fantastic. As long as you've got one piece China Light on there, you are laughing all the way to the WOOO bank. You really are. Tech support. Skill kills increase total skill damage by 25% for 20 seconds. Brilliant tech support. Again, one of the best skill build talents in the game. For me, it is a toss-up between combined arms. Which one do you want on your build? Now, for me, combined arms is great. It's fantastic because I am consistently shooting. I am up and at 'em, ensuring that I'm dealing damage with my primary weapon, i.e. the capacitor. So, combined arms works for me really, really well. However, I've used tech support because tech support is consistently good. And again, you are bagging kills all day, all night with this artillery turret. It is insane. So I've opted for tech support instead, and tech support does a great job for me, and I feel for most players tech support is the best way to go. Then we have the chest piece, which is the last piece of Empress International. Skill haste, skill damage, and again skill haste. God roll piece, this is what I want, and the talent is kinetic momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill, and is lost when on cooldown. Now the one thing I'd add with this, if you're to talk about an alternative, the alternative would be of course glass cannon. Now glass cannon in heroic content is fairly easy in my opinion to roll with that, because again, I find heroic content a little bit of a doddle. You take it up a notch and you take it into legendary missions, you have to play a completely different role, and glass cannon becomes, for me, a potential liability because you are down more often than not. And I don't want that, and I don't like seeing players down because you've got to try and pick them up, because 4 players can outdamage these NPCs. When there's 2 or there's 3, you've got a problem. When there's 4, you've got that chance to wipe through them quickly and efficiently. So glass cannon, as a heavy hitting talent it is, you are again receptive to so much damage, and that's why I don't use glass cannon often. Sometimes I do, but again I have to change my playstyle, and I don't enjoy using glass cannon. I don't. So for me, kinetic momentum is the next best choice, and it works. Trust me guys, it works an absolute dream. It gives me that survivability coupled with the armor regen as well. Kinetic momentum, the way to go, in my opinion, but glass cannon will offer a little bit more damage-wise, but be careful, your ass will be on the grass. Moving forward, that's the gear. Let's take a look at the weapons. Weapon-wise, I've opted for the capacitor. Now, the capacitor is, we all know by now, is an excellent exotic assault rifle. Now, why do I use the capacitor? Because of the talent capacitance. Shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. So total after you are at cap 40 is 60% skill damage. Okay, 60%. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 second, or 1 per second. For each skill tier gain, 7.5% weapon damage. And again, this is very much like combined arms. When I say that is, are you aggressive enough to get those stacks from 0 to 40? I am. I do it all the time. I get it. Some people may not, so they would opt for something like the test subject, the harmony, for that instant proc of that damage. That's why that is a good option. It generally is. But capacitor for me is just, yes, all day long I always go for the capacitor. Test subject, again, good option. Straight off the bat, you get that 40% damage. But I like to get a little bit more. I want to maximize it as much as I can, and capacitor does that. And plus, it feels like a beauty just to use and utilize in any content. I love the capacitor, my favorite weapon in the game. For each skill tier gain, 7.5% weapon damage. Guys, that is a total 45% weapon damage again, which is greater than in sync. Mods, guys, crit chance rounds, crit damage, weapon handling. The secondary, guys, don't worry too much about this. I have just put this on. I like mechanical animal. I've put it on simply because from time to time I can just switch over to this bag of kill. What happens then? I get overcharged 15 seconds. I just go crazy for 15 seconds. And you know, it adds a really good radius. And once we look at the skills, we'll see. So that's why I'm using that. Primarily, it's all about the capacitor. 99% of the time I use the capacitor, and the odd percent of the time I turn to this and use this just to bag that kill for, of course, overcharge. Not essential, not essential at all. You could also roll with the Harmony, which has obviously perfectly in sync for that 40% weapon and skill damage. That is a great option. Entirely up to you guys, it is. But I've just opted for mechanical animal. I just like this from time to time. Simple. Crit chance, crit chance, crit chance, and rounds, and the sidearm. We know what it is, guys. The TDI card custom is there for show. It is. I can't put an exotic on, but if I would, it'd be the Liberty. But it is what it is. Don't worry about it, guys. I don't use it in any content. Now let's take a look at the skills. Skills course, guys. It is the striker drone. I'm using striker drone. I like this. This pairs really well with this. This damage is doubled. 150k, and again we know we could get a little bit more because I'm not rolling with technician for the extra 10% skill damage. I get that, I know that, but still this is perfect how it is. It is great. It is the really piss off skill that really annoys all NPCs, and that's why I enjoy rolling with it. So let's have a look at the mods. Duration, health, and damage. Of course, damage. Now if I was going to go into overcharge with this, it would give me 175% striker damage, and the next, well, the health's the same, but an extra 55% damage. Again, that's good. That's good, and that's why I like that little bit of, again, unpredictability and switching to the mechanical animal to bag that kill to boost that damage for 15 seconds. It's a nice addition, nice change. And then my primary skill is all about the artillery turret. Cooldown of 9.7 seconds, a damage of 3642. However, it is a bit more than that. It is a bit more than that. You've seen the video. You know, you're hitting 7.5 million damage on average, and I've been hitting 8.5 million damage at points as well. It is fucking insane. So in terms of the mods, guys, we can see damage, of course, get that 10% on there from the Demolitionist mods. You're going to use that 10% with Demolitionist. Mortar ammo, you want one more, because, guys, you know that can do a shitload of damage to get it on. And, of course, skill haste to bring it back a little bit quicker. Now, in terms of the overcharge, what will that give me on this? It will give me an extra 15% damage, and an extra 10% radius, and an extra ammo in the tin. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. It'll give me an extra 47.5% damage, an extra 140% health, an extra 25% mortar blast radius, and an extra 4 ammo. You see why I'm using this now, because it gets me a lot more in return. It's a nice addition, isn't it? And again, just switching to mechanical animal, just take down the last NPC, just a little dribble off them. 15 seconds, you get a lot more bang for your buck, you really do, with the artillery turret and the striker drone. Guys, we'll have a look at the stats, which is the last piece of the puzzle. Again, as always, don't worry about the weapon damage, weapon talents. It's irrelevant. Other than capacitor, obviously, and other than in sync, you need those. Other than that, don't worry, guys. Just don't worry. Concentrate on the build and the skills. Then we look at the armor regen is 14,775. That is a nice trickle. Again, it could be a little bit more, but I've opted for a bit of skill haste on there to get the skills back a tad quicker. But armor regen, again, a nice trickle of extra armor. Then we have skill haste is 101%, which is perfect, just to get them back as quick as I can. But that's a perfect place to be, in my opinion. And this is the build, guys. It is a fun build to use. As I look at the bounty board, let me just turn around. There we go. Okay, so, guys, fun build. fun build, and of course high damage output build. You could go for Grupo, that would give you a lot, or 15% extra explosive damage. I get it, but you're going to have to forego something, aren't you guys? You are. And that's the thing of getting it shoehorned into the build, whereas this, it is easy to assemble, easy to put together, and very easy to do some nice sexy damage, and so effective. Any content I've tested this, it is beautiful, trust me. But guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video, thumbs doodle, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.